Today. It's been a long time no see. We're reacting to the real reason Trump pardoned NBA Youngboy. The most corrupt president in the entire world. Let's see what is going on. Let's do it!
NBA. Youngboy has been arrested for attempted murder, a kidnapping, a killing in Miami, 2 federal gun cases, and a 60-count fraud ring. And he keeps walking out like none of it ever happened.
So all this is happening and he's still free. So let me get this straight. Basically, right, you guys like a guy that raps about sex, sex, violence, all that. I finna take my Draco out. I'm finna shoot this guy. I'm finna put my mask on. I'm finna rob this guy from 50K cash. Is that what you guys wanna keep listening every single day, bro? Like, think about it, bro. It gets to a point, dude. You feel me? It gets to a point. You feel me? Lock in, brother. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on?
Time the walls close in, something reaches down and pulls him out. And the last time it happened, it was the President of the United States. But the reason isn't luck, and it isn't good lawyers. It's a number so big that putting this man in a cell costs powerful people a fortune. And once you see it, you'll understand why they can't afford to let him fall. To answer that, we gotta go back to where it started, because Youngboy didn't build this on his own. The place he came from built it into him. Kentrell Galden was born on October 20th, 1999.
Oh, wow. Wow. 1999.
In Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And if you know anything about Baton Rouge, you know it's one of the roughest cities in the country. Serious gang activity and a kind of poverty that doesn't let go of you once it has its grip. His father caught a 55-year prison sentence when Kentrell was still a baby.
That is absolutely crazy, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
So his grandmother raised him. As a toddler, he broke his neck wrestling and had to wear a brace until it healed.
Oh, this is him. Oh, I thought it was this guy for a second, bro.
Which is where those scars on his forehead come from. He grew up in the middle of all of it, and he lived it long before he ever rapped about it. He dropped out in 9th grade. At 14, he bought a microphone from Walmart and started recording. And
oh, man.
Before the music ever turned into anything, he got arrested for robbery and did 6 months in a juvenile facility in Tallulah, where he started writing his first songs. By the time he got out, his grandmother had passed. He moved in with a friend, another Baton Rouge rapper named NBA 33, and the two of them were committing.
Wait, so both of their names is called NBA. Why? Wait, what's the lore? What's the lore?
Crimes just to pay for studio time. So when you hear him rap about this stuff, understand, it's not content. He actually lived every bit of it. That's exactly what made him blow up. He dropped his first tape, Life Before Fame, in 2015. Then in October 2016 came 38 Baby, and that one took off. Millions of views, cosigns from Baton Rouge legends like Boozy and Kevin.
Okay, no, wait, what is this that I'm seeing? Since when did security guards carry this, bro?
Millions of views. Wait. Cosigns from Baton Rouge.
What is that right there? No, what is that? What is that supposed to be? Who told him to carry this, and how come the police don't? Since when? Oh my goodness, bro. Probably one of the worst countries I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, bro.
Like Boozy and Kevin Gates. Kids from the same kind of place heard him rapping about death and paranoia and burying his friends, and they knew he meant it.
Honey, I brought back enough tomatoes.
Bro, this is crazy right here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe it, man.
My daughter is remarrying someone who doesn't smell like dirt.
It's just like so different. Like,
within 3 years, he'd stack 3 #1 albums in under a year, something only DMX had ever done. But that same city gave him something that shows up in every single case he's ever faced. In Baton Rouge, you don't talk to police. Not because it's some slogan, because people there have watched what happens to the ones who cooperate, and they know the state can't keep them safe when it's over. So witnesses go quiet. Statements get walked back. Keep that in the back of your mind, because it's about to turn into a pattern. One quiet witness is a coincidence. What happens to this man over the next 10 years is a streak. And a streak that long usually means somebody's got a reason to keep it going. So let's get into that first case, because it set the blueprint for everything that came after.
That is crazy.
In November of 2016, Youngboy was still an up-and-comer, riding the buzz off 38 Baby. Then, U.S.
38. 1738. I ain't gonna lie, that was probably low-key different. 1738. I ain't gonna lie, something about YB, bro. Like, nah, this guy is different. No glaze, I ain't glazing no person on this earth. No glaze. But this guy is like, man. I don't think this guy's like, if this guy looks at you straight in the face, bro, like, he's not playing, bro. Like, he's literally looking at the camera with this face right here. I don't know, man. This be some type of different. Nah, he's more than a gangster, bro. I don't know what to say. No glaze, though.
Marshals arrested him in Austin, Texas, right before a concert. The charge wasn't small. Prosecutors said that back in Baton Rouge, he jumped out of a vehicle and opened fire on a group of people standing on a South Baton Rouge street. 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder. Sit with that for a second. He was 16 when it happened, and the state charged him as an adult. Attempted murder is the kind of charge that ends a career before it starts. We're talking decades in prison. For a kid who just gotten his first taste of real attention, this should have been the end of the story. And they didn't have a thin case. There was a shooting, there were victims, there was a vehicle, and they'd identified Youngboy as one of the shooters. On paper, the state had what it needed to put him away for a very long time. But
that is low-key crazy, because then at the same time, man, I don't know what to say, bro. Like, this is a different type of video, man.
here's where that Baton Rouge factor kicks in for the first time. To convict someone of a
show us
drive-by, you need people willing to get on a stand and say what they saw. And in those neighborhoods, that's exactly what you're never going to get.
People ain't trying to snitch. You snitch, you stitch. You feel me? Like, I heard that before. You snitch, you stitch. You too quiet. Quiet on the creek. Be silent on the creek. You're too loud on the creek. You too loud on the creek, they finally pull you down on the creek. You feel me, bro? Like, you get it? Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, bro.
People who could have testified understood the math better than any lawyer. You don't cooperate because cooperating doesn't come with any protection once the trial's over. So the case that looked solid started coming apart at the seams. He sat in jail from December 2016 through the following summer, and even locked up, he kept dropping music, re-releasing tapes and putting out songs.
Oh man, this guy is different.
Like Win or Lose that fans ate up while he was behind bars. The legend was growing while the case was shrinking. By the time it was over, the 2 counts of attempted murder were gone. In August of 2017, he took a plea to a single count of aggravated assault with a firearm. A 10-year sentence, fully suspended, 3 years of probation, no active prison time. He walked out and a week later dropped a single called Untouchable. And that's really where it started for him. That feeling. You catch 2 attempted murder charges as a teenager, you're staring down decades.
Oh man.
Then you just walk. That does something to a person. The bravado you see in him for the rest of his career, that sense he can do whatever he wants and always land on his feet, it traces right back to here. The system took its best shot and missed. And if this were the only time, you'd call it exactly what it looks like. A kid from a city that won't talk to police, catching a break. Remember that explanation, because it works for a while. Because right as that first case was wrapping up, Youngboy's career went vertical. The back half of 2017 into 2018 is when he stopped being a Baton Rouge name and became a national one. A deal with Atlantic
This type of glaze is different, bro.
Records put major label money and machinery behind him for the first time. Then in January 2018, he dropped Outside Today. That song hit the top 40, went quadruple platinum, and became the anthem that introduced him to millions of people who'd never touched a mixtape. His debut album, Until Death Call My Name, landed in the top 10.
Bro, this type of, yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I don't know, bro. This is different. So basically, you grow up in a bad place, you still do bad things, you rap, you make it. But then now, I don't understand. Like, I feel like everybody has got an influence, bro. Everybody does kind of change sometime. I don't know. I feel like sometime, bro. I feel like people do change over time. I don't know. For me, it did. I'm just saying. You feel me? Some people might have done, but man, this is different, bro.
He was 19 with real money for the first time.
19. What? 19 years old. And he's already the biggest rapper. Now listen, Enemy Chopper, he was 16 to when he got his first, you feel me? So I can't really say. I can't really, you feel me? You can't really compare him to, you feel me? Enemy Chopper's in a different type of level. He's right, like he's skyrocketing, bro. He's miles clear better than, you feel me?
In his life. Kids were on the way. His relationships were messy, public, and playing out in front of millions online. The pain
that does not look like YB, bro.
Pain was still all over the music, but now he was living a completely different life than the one that created it. And that's the thing about Youngboy. The chaos in his personal life never slowed down to match the success. If anything, it sped up. Which brings us to Georgia.
Wow.
In February of 2018, an outstanding warrant caught up with him for assault, kidnapping, and weapons charges.
Wow.
This one wasn't about a street shooting. It was about his girlfriend at the time. Prosecutors said surveillance cameras in a hotel in Waycross, Georgia, caught him body slamming her in a hallway and then dragging her into a room. They said blood was found in that room afterward. On paper, that's a horrific case, and it's the kind that's very hard to walk back because it's not a he said, she said. It's on camera. So how did it end? A $75,000 bail and not much.
He got away with this one. What? Okay, first one done. Okay, second one done. You're telling me the third one is about to be done as well?
Else. And the reason comes down to one person, the girlfriend herself. She went public to deny that any abuse ever happened. And she didn't do it once. She made it her mission to take the heat off him, going on camera more than once to insist the case wasn't what it looked like.
She did that because if she didn't, she would get killed. Simple. No, it's not about being loyal. Literally, if she didn't help him, she'll literally get killed. She's not around good guys, bro. She's literally around, you know, feel me? She's around this type of YNs. You feel me? Like, she's not around good people right now, bro. She's around the people that influence the bad things, bro. Around the youth. I'm just saying, bro. And Elite Chopper is better.
Here's how that actually works. You can have the whole thing on CCTV. You can have the buildup on video for everybody to see. But if the alleged victim gets up and says nothing criminal happened, the prosecution loses its foundation. The key witness and the victim are the same person. And when that person won't cooperate, the case has nowhere to stand. So the picture's still simple. He's a guy who knows how to make a case disappear. Whether it's a street full of people who...
So you basically need NBA Youngboy aura for you to get away from 3 charges. So if you're telling me right now, if I can produce 3 hits, I have a girlfriend that probably isn't loyal, but will probably help me in this situation. Oh my goodness. Now, don't ever try that, bro. Listen from me. No, motherfucker. Don't do that at all. Listen, it's good to make music, but don't be making them type of... You feel me, bro? I feel like many people do it, though.
Won't talk, or someone close to him who takes the heat off.
Well, looking for work in England with no
bro.
CV and experience? Construction companies may still be looking for you. Learn more about construction companies in England.
That's the story a lot of people stop at. But what's coming next reaches a lot higher than the streets of Baton Rouge.
Whoa,
By the
man.
time 2019 came around, Youngboy wasn't a rapper with buzz anymore. He was a machine, one of the most streamed artists alive, dropping music faster than the industry could package it, with a fan base that treated every release like an event. His personal life was spinning in every direction at once. Multiple kids, multiple mothers,
Bro, how are these women falling for it, bro?
Relationships that detonated in public and got stitched into the songs a week later. The pain that built him was still the engine. He was just running it at 140.
Honestly, this is just sad. I don't know, bro. This is sad, ain't it?
40 miles an hour now. And that speed is exactly what kept putting him in rooms where things went wrong. Which is how we get to Miami. May 2019. He's booked for Rolling Loud, one of the biggest rap festivals in the country.
Oh, wow.
But the thing that matters didn't happen on stage. It happened on Mother's Day, outside the
What?
Trump International Beach Resort where he was staying. He's walking out with his people when a Cadillac Escalade rolls up, and someone
Wait, what happened?
inside just starts shooting at him. A real ambush. His girlfriend at the time, Kaylin Long,
What?
takes a round to the shoulder. A 5-year-old kid nearby gets grazed.
What?
And Youngboy's crew, legally armed, opens fire back at the Escalade. Then comes the part that turns this from a headline into a tragedy. In that crossfire, a bullet kills a 43-year-old
No way.
man named Mohammed Dradi, sitting in his van across the street.
What?
He worked in the area. He had nothing to do with any of it. He died on Mother's Day because he was parked near a rapper he probably never listened to. Now here's where it stops.
Wow.
Adding up. A man is dead. The bullets came from Youngboy's own entourage, and when the smoke clears, not one person in his camp is charged with anything. Miami-Dade
No way.
police rule it self-defense. His people were fired on first, and everybody detained walks. Somebody died,
What? 3.
and the machine around
This
Youngboy
is number 3. There's no way this is number 4.
absorbed it like it was nothing. And think about where this is happening. This is Miami, a different state, a different police force, thousands of witnesses with phones. The one explanation we've been leaning on, that his hometown protects him, doesn't even apply here, and he still comes out clean. The
There is no way.
only thing that touched him was his own paperwork. Being at a shooting, around guns, violated the probation from his 2016 case.
Oh,
that got
wow.
him 90 days, a 14-month performance ban, and house arrest. That's the whole bill for a Mother's Day shooting that left a man dead.
Bro.
And this is the turning point, so pay attention.
This is the number 3 time he's literally got away. How is he doing this? And you expect me to be happy about this guy? Let me tell you, you can be the most popular, richest person in the entire world, and I will still not glaze you, bro. That is how far I'm taking it. You feel me, bro? You can have £1 trillion, $1 trillion, trillion USD, trillion euros. I don't care, bro. I will not glaze you nor care about. I don't care. You're just a human being, bro. You're normal to everybody.
Everything you've watched up to now, he did himself. His silence, his connections, his hometown, his lawyers. You can draw a straight line from Youngboy to every escape. But starting right about here, that line stops being straight. Because what happens next, he could not have pulled off on his own. The
There's
next
no
time
way.
the system comes for him, it comes with the full weight of the federal government.
There's
the
no
people
way.
who win 90% of the time and almost never lose. And that's
Oh,
the
wow.
exact moment his luck gets impossible to explain. Because what he was worth by this point had stopped making normal sense. In 2021, he dropped Sincerely Kentrell while he was
Oh, wow.
sitting in a jail cell, and it debuted at #1. Only 2 artists in history had ever put out a chart-topping album from behind bars.
Wow.
Tupac and Lil Wayne. He was locked up
Really?
and still outselling rappers who were free and on tour. His YouTube channel was climbing toward 15 billion views.
Wow.
He was releasing music so fast, the industry couldn't keep up. Over 140 projects and songs across his career. A huge chunk of them recorded while he was fighting cases or under house arrest.
Wow.
Sit with what that means, because it changes the whole story. Wherever you put NBA Youngboy, a jail cell, house arrest, federal supervision, he prints
This is crazy.
cash. For himself, for his label, for the streaming platforms, for everyone standing near his career taking a cut. And that's when the question quietly flips. For the first half of his story, the question was how does he keep getting out? But once he's a one-man industry making money from inside a cell, a different question creeps in. Not how does he get out?
This is sad. Like what? So bad people become successful. Is that what you're telling me, bro? Become a rapper. Sing about violence. Bro, this NLE Chopper is literally, bro, like, oh my, there is no debate. NLE Chopper is the best. Like, oh my goodness, how many people are gonna like, bro, come on, bro.
Out? Who actually wants him in? Because a young boy in prison and a young boy free are worth wildly different amounts of money. And when someone generates that kind of money for that many powerful people, there's an incentive sitting under everything, spoken or not, to keep that machine running. Nobody
And here is where Donald Trump the corrupt president in the entire world, comes in and frees him again. Is that what's gonna happen, bro?
Nobody has to send a memo. Nobody has to make a call. The pressure exists on its own. I can't tell you there's some secret room where they decided to protect him. Nobody can prove that. But watch what the pattern does once he crosses into this level of value. Before, the escapes had street explanations. Now he's beating the federal government itself and walking out bigger than he walked in. He even started daring them, right in the music.
Like what?
On house arrest in that Utah mansion, he turned it into a studio and kept recording, openly taunting the feds, rapping about them knowing his name-dropping Utah while he was literally sitting in it. Most people under federal supervision try to disappear. Youngboy was releasing songs about it, because he'd learned the lesson over and over.
How is this possible? No, like in all seriousness, bro. Oh my goodness, bro.
They come for him.
I don't really go YouTube Premium. Very soon, though.
Somehow, he stays free. Until 2024, when one case finally came along that his money, his lawyers, and his silence had no answer for. For almost 3 years, he'd been in that Utah mansion on house arrest, waiting on his Baton Rouge trial. And in April of 2024, the case that got him didn't come from a shooting or a gun. Cache County police raided the mansion and arrested him for allegedly running a prescription fraud ring out of the house. The scheme was specific. Someone would call a pharmacy pretending to be a real doctor, using that doctor's actual DEA number.
There's no way.
And credentials, and order promethazine with codeine, the syrup used to make lean. Fake patient names, fake birthdays. Then Youngboy's associates would drive around picking the orders up from different pharmacies. Investigators tied at least 15 of them across the state to it. When they searched the mansion, they found the drugs under the fake names, and, again, a gun. He ended up facing 63 charges: identity fraud, forgery, obtaining prescriptions under false pretenses, stacked 20 counts deep. And this one had a problem none of the others did. Every time before, what saved him was that the evidence came down to a person, a witness who went quiet, a victim who recanted, a gun nobody could pin to him. You can't do any of that to a pharmacy's phone records. Documents don't get scared, and paper doesn't recant. Then came the part that had to hurt. The man beat the feds because they could never put words in his mouth. And what cracked this case was his own voice. Police pulled his car over during a pickup, then got him on a phone call, and at one point, thinking he was on mute, he was caught saying, "Ask him about the prescription that they picked up." Everything he'd built ran on saying nothing and leaving no trace. And there he was on a recorded line asking about the exact prescriptions at the center of the case. His way of saying that one word, ax, instead of ask, was part of how they'd identified him to begin with. A federal judge voided the house arrest and ordered him into custody. And this time, there was no slipping out. In December of 2024, he took a global plea that closed the Utah charges and both federal gun cases in one move. Guilty, 23 months. So after 10 years, they finally had him. Convicted, sentenced, on his way to federal prison. The streak was over. And then, 5 months later, the president of the
not this guy. I here he comes to ruin everything, bro. It was finally there. Just one millisecond, millisecond. Then this guy gets voted as the president. Nobody knew what was gonna happen the next 2 years. I promise you. Everybody was gassing this guy up. Nobody knew. Literally nobody knew. My goodness, bro.
United States personally erased it. On May 28, 2025, Donald Trump signed a pardon for Kentrell Galden, a full presidential pardon, wiping the federal conviction off the board completely, along with the
fraud. No. Prison, and everybody prison. No, bro, no, bro.
5 years of probation, the drug testing, and the $200,000 fine that came with it. And think about the timing. He'd been released to home confinement back in March, with a massive comeback tour already being planned. Probation would have meant drug tests, travel restrictions, supervision, all the things that make it hard to tour and run a business. And right at that moment, the most powerful man in the world cleared all of it away, handing Youngboy a clean slate at the exact moment he needed one to get back to making money. Every other escape in this story you could trace to something on the ground. The streets, the lawyers, a jury, the money.
And he got away again.
A presidential pardon doesn't come from any of that. It comes from one man in the Oval Office deciding your case is worth his signature. And here's the part that keeps people up at night. Youngboy has no obvious connection to Donald Trump. He's not a political figure. He didn't campaign for him. The pardon came in a batch alongside reality TV stars and politicians. In a stretch of clemency, Trump's own pardon office described with the phrase, "No MAGA left behind." When reporters looked at the list, Youngboy was one of the names that made the least sense being on it. He thanked Trump, the pardon czar Alice Marie
I want to thank
Johnson and his attorney and moved on. No real explanation for how a Baton Rouge rapper landed on the desk of the President of the United States. So step back and look at the whole shape of it. For 10 years, the answer to how he keeps getting out had an
this guy got out, and then got out.
address. The streets that wouldn't talk. The girlfriend who recanted. The jury that doubted. The
Hey, one thing they can't escape from though is God's judgment day. No. That is one judgment they can't escape from. You think I'm lying? You think I'm lying? Oh, okay.
lawyers who delivered. But the higher he climbed and the more valuable he became, the higher the help seemed to come from, until the final save didn't come from Baton Rouge, or a courtroom, or a defense team at all. It came from the White House. That's the pattern that makes people say the word plant, a protected asset, somebody too valuable to too many important people to ever actually be allowed to fall. 10 years, attempted murder, a kidnapping, a man dead in Miami,
This is absolutely chaotic. How did I stumble onto this video? Like, how?
federal gun cases, a 60-count fraud ring. Any one of them buries a normal man. He walked through all of them. Maybe that's the luckiest man alive. Or maybe, somewhere along the way, he became too valuable to too many powerful people to ever be allowed to fall. I know where I land. The question is whether you think a man gets this lucky, this many times, on his own. Drop it in the comments. Subscribe.
Crazy. Well, W video, chat. W video. That was an amazing video, chat. Honestly, Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.